Hi everyone, Pastor Bill Marsh here. I'm doing a series on the book of Revelation. Revelation, is not about death. It's about life. It's about eternity forever. And I pray that you will enjoy what you hear, and I pray that you'll be able to apply it to your life. Hi everyone, welcome to the Future Revealed. Pastor Bill Marshall here, episode 6. The Two Witnesses. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. Now, there's a lot of discussion of who these two witnesses really are. We know that one is Elijah, because Malachi 4:5 says, "Behold, I send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord." And Matthew 17:11 says, Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias or Elijah should surely come first and restore all things. There's others who believe it's Enoch. He was also taken before without seeing death. In Genesis 5:23 and 24, so all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not. God took him. In Jude 14:15, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesies of these things, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and convince all that are ungodly among them, all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed. Now, who exactly is this guy Enoch? Now, from the book of Jasher, I bought a book about Jasher, and it's like a history of the Jewish the beginning of times. It has here, and I quote, Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. When I die, Methuselah's name means when I die, it shall come. What shall come? The flood. Enoch walked with God, having begotten Methuselah, and he served the Lord and despised the evil ways of men. And the soul of Enoch was wrapped up in the instruction of the Lord in knowledge and understanding. He was wisely retired from the sons of men and secreted himself from them for many days. The Spirit of God was upon Enoch, and he taught all men the wisdom of God and his ways, and the sons of men served the Lord all the days of Enoch. They came to hear his wisdom. All the kings and sons of men, both first and last, together with their princes and judges, came to Enoch when they heard of his wisdom, and they bowed down to him. He also required of Enoch to reign over them, for he consented. And they assembled in all 130 kings and princes, and they made Enoch king over them, and they were all under his power and command. And Enoch taught them wisdom, knowledge, and the ways of the Lord, and he made peace amongst them. And peace was throughout the earth during his life of Enoch. Which is the most amazing thing. People don't realize that Enoch reigned for 243 years. Enoch ascended into heaven in a whirlwind with horses and chariots of fire. There's somebody else that did the same thing. In 2 Kings 2:11, it says, And it came to pass, as they were still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and departed them, put them asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into the heavens. That's kind of amazing. A lot of people get Enoch wrong, because Enoch really was a Gentile. He was not a Jew. Enoch's earthly ministry predated the establishment of the Jewish race. He is considered by some as God's first prophet to the Gentiles. Elijah, on the other hand, was God's prophet to Israel. Thus, since God's witnesses during the tribulation hour will minister to both groups, many believe the two witnesses are Elijah and Enoch. I know there are those who believe that it will be Moses and Elijah because they appeared together on the Mount of Transfiguration. Some say that the body of Moses was preserved by God. That's not what Deuteronomy 34:5-6 says. So Moses, the servant of God, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, over against Bethor. But no man knoweth his sepulchre until this day. The greatest problem with the assumption that Moses is one of the witnesses is that he would mean that he would die twice, which would contradict Hebrews 9:27. Is it appointed unto men once to die? Both Moses and Elijah were prophets to Israel, whereas the two witnesses of Revelation 11 are prophets of judgment to the whole world, both Jew and Gentile. All these considerations point clearly to the great Anthulian patriarch and Enoch as the second of the two witnesses. Enoch is the only other man in human history besides Elijah who was taken directly into heaven in his natural body before dying. I believe that the two witnesses are Enoch and Elijah. And they shall prophesy they shall prophesy 1,260 days. I don't believe the two witnesses were on the earth when the church was raptured, but they came in a little bit later. They don't die until they finish their ministry, at which time God allows them to be our martyrs. Olive tree excludes oil, which is a symbol of the Holy Spirit, and candlesticks are light bearers. So we have a beautiful picture of two chosen witnesses anointed by the Holy Spirit, proclaiming the message of light in the midst of a sin-blackened world. Verse 5, these men, if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth and devour their enemies. If any man will hurt them, he must this manner be killed. These have power to shut the heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have the power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all its plagues as often as they will. This is the power that these two men had. And this is why Satan hated them to no end.